Hello, and welcome to my YouTube. This YouTube is remembering the year 1975. I was 31 years old in 1975, teaching at the University of Illinois and conducting research in computer-based education. This is where I lived on campus. This was the Century 21, the tallest building for miles. And I lived on the 19th floor, and my windows faced the campus. And I had an amazing view of the campus of the University of Illinois. I just loved that view. Gerald Ford was president that year. Starsky and Hutch debuted on television in 1975. The construction of the Trans-Alaska Pipeline System began that year. On April 30th, Saigon fell to the North Vietnamese Army, and this was an iconic, famous picture of South Vietnamese civilians desperately trying to get onto a helicopter to get out of South Vietnam before the North Vietnamese took control of the city. Desperate times. On April 4th, Bill Gates and Paul Allen incorporated Microsoft. You might have heard of them. The Atari 8800, which was a computer kit designed by Micro Instrumentation and Telemetry Systems, was introduced. This is a kit. So when you bought this thing, you had to put it together. This was really for geeks. But this was basically the first home computer. It had no monitor. It had no keyboard. You had to figure out. In fact, there wasn't even a connection on it to connect a monitor. In today's dollars, that thing would have cost $2,934. So with no monitor and no keyboard, how did you program the thing? You programmed the thing by flipping these switches. And how did you read what you'd programmed? You looked at the flashing lights. So you're spending $2,900 for a computer that you flip switches and watch blinking lights. Really exciting stuff, folks. Talk about exciting. The Pet Rock was introduced that year. And for $3.95, they sent you a rock in a cardboard box with a little owner's manual. Now, let me open up the, by the way, in today's dollars, that's $23.35 to buy basically a rock. Here's the cover of the book, and here's section 1, simple obedience, come. You're going to teach your rock the command come. It is essential that your pet rock learn this command. A rock that doesn't come when it's called will cause its owners endless embarrassment. Command gently but firmly. So that's the first command, come. Here's the command to shake hands, and then it says, don't be ridiculous. You can't teach a rock to shake hands. Here's how to teach your rock to skip across water. Here's how to teach your rock to fetch. And here's the attack training section of your manual. The Pet Rock. They lasted, maybe a year or so, and then quickly faded away. Mood rings. These the way this thing works is this material is called thermochromatic. And what that means is it changes colors based upon what temperature it is. So when you got the ring, they gave you this chart. You put the ring on and it would change colors. And you looked at the color to see, are you relaxed? Are you lovable? Are you stressed? The temperature of your body changed the color of this ring. Once again, these lasted a year or so and then quickly disappeared. They cost $45 back then, and that would be $265 today. so they weren't cheap. A Chorus Line musical opens on Broadway that year. Miller Lite beer was introduced that year, low calories. Famous Amos cookies were introduced in Los Angeles. He started off in one shop and he expanded, and then he sold out, and it changed hands 7 or 8 times. Interestingly enough, you can still get them. You can log on to Amazon online, and here's the ad for a 12-pack of Famous Amos chocolate chip cookies. Whack-a-mole was introduced. The object of this game is you have this club, and these little moles, little animals, will pop up, and you're supposed to smack them before they drop back into their hole. Let me show you a video. Now, this is a very young kid, and he's terrible at this game. Way too slow. He's not anticipating, he's just hitting where they were. But the idea is that you hit the mole while his head is up. And if you hit him correctly, you got points, okay? Whack-a-mole. I've played it, I don't know, half a dozen times in my life. It's fun. The Apollo-Soyuz test project begins, where an American Apollo spacecraft and a Soviet Soyuz spacecraft docked in orbit. A very tricky maneuver. On September 5th, President Ford survives an assassination attempt by Lynette Squeaky Fromm in Sacramento. This girl, Squeaky Fromm, was infamous because she was a member of the infamous Charles Manson gang. They're the ones that murdered those people in Los Angeles. She wasn't one of the people that committed the murder. She was just one of his followers. But she was convicted of assassination attempt, and she was sent to prison. 17 days later, on September 22nd, President Ford survives a second assassination attempt by Sarah Jane Moore. She shot at him across a street. She had a pistol, and she missed. Obviously, this is the exact moment when the shot rang out. See, all these Secret Service men, they're all looking in the direction of the shot. Here's the fascinating part about Sarah Jane Moore. She was an FBI informant at the time of the assassination attempt. The television show Wheel of Fortune debuted on NBC. Chuck Woolery was the host back then. It would be 5 or 6 years before Pat Sajak came along. And a lady by the name of Susan Strafford was flipping the cards. Saturday Night Live debuted back in 1975. And here's the original cast: Lorraine Newman, John Belushi, Jane Curtin, Gilda Radner, Garrett Morris, Dan Aykroyd, and Chevy Chase. And the host that night was stand-up comedian George Carlin in October of 1975. Welcome Back, Kotter debuted on TV. This was a humorous story. It's about a man who graduates from a tough city high school, and 10 years later he comes back as a teacher. And these are his students. These are troublemaker kids. The star was Gabe Kaplan. He also helped write it. And there was a guy, an unknown actor by the name of John Travolta, played one of the high school boys. The Victory Garden premiered on public broadcast television. I watched it for years, every Saturday morning. And James Underwood Crockett was the first host of that show. How to Grow Things. Sony's Betamax became the first commercially successful home video recording unit. So you plug this into your antenna along with your TV and you could record your TV shows. And we thought it was amazing. The annual average salary for a man that year was $7,653.08. If you put that into today's dollars, that's a little over $45,232. The average salary right now in America is close to $60,000. So that's not a very good salary. Cost of a new car, average was around $4,951. In today's dollars, that's a $29,262 car. Cost of an average modest new home was $39,300. In today's dollars, that's a $232,000 home. Gas was 55 cents a gallon. In today's dollars, that's $3.25. I paid $2.77 the other day at Costco. What were the top grossing movies of 1975? Which ones made the most money? Number 1, Jaws. This terrified. People were afraid to go into the water that summer when they went to the beach. Great show. Number 2, Jack Nicholson in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And this nurse became famous. Her name was Nurse Ratched, and she was very mean and devious and basically terrorized Jack Nicholson. Shampoo was the third biggest money winner with Warren Beatty, Julie Christie, and Goldie Hawn. Number 4, Dog Day Afternoon, a bank robbery story starring Al Pacino and John Cazale. And number 5, Peter Sellers in The Return of the Pink Panther. The Godfather Part 2 won the Academy Award for Best Picture that year. What were we watching on TV? What were the top TV shows in 1975? Number 1, All in the Family, Archie Bunker. Number 2, Rich Man, Poor Man. Number 3, Laverne and Shirley, starring Penny Marshall and Cindy Williams. 4th, Maude. And coming in 5th, The Bionic Woman, starring Lindsay Wagner and Lee Majors. So, who was born in 1975? Kate Winslet. Titanic fame, and this is what she looked like when she starred in Titanic. Okay. The actor Bradley Cooper. Now, I was never quite sure how to pronounce her name, so I watched a YouTube where she was being interviewed by a news person, and the very first question he asked her was, "How do you pronounce your name?" And she said, Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron. Very fine actress. This is what she looks like right now. The actor Tobey Maguire, who played Spider-Man. The actress Angelina Jolie. The actress Drew Barrymore, who started acting at the age of 7 in the movie E.T. This is the first time we ever saw her. Who were the top singers in 1975? Number 1, Elton John. Number 2, the Eagles. Number 3, John Denver. Number 4, Neil Sedaka. And number 5, Linda Ronstadt. So, what were the most popular songs of 1975? Number 1, Love Will Keep Us Together by the Captain and Tennille. Number 2, Rhinestone Cowboy by Glenn Campbell. Number 3, Elton John's Philadelphia Freedom. Number 4, Before the Next Teardrop Falls by Freddie Fender. Number 5, Frankie Valli, My Eyes Adored You. And now I'd like to play and sing 2 of my favorite songs from 1975. Where are those happy days? They seem so hard to find. I tried to reach for you, but you had closed your mind. Whatever happened to our love? I wish I understood. It used to be so nice, it used to be so good. So when you're near me, darling, can you hear me? SOS. The love you gave me, nothing else could save me. SOS. When you're gone, how can I even try to go on? When you're gone, though I try, how can I carry on? You seem so far away, though you are standing near. You made me feel alive, but something died, I fear. I really tried to make it up. I wish I understood. What happened to our love? It used to be so good. So when you're near me, darling, can you hear me? SOS. And the love you gave me, nothing else could save me. SOS. When you're gone, how can I even try to go on? When you're gone, though I try, how can I carry on? Darling, can you hear me? SOS. And the love you gave me, nothing else could save me.